So then Lorelai comes into the antique shop, Mrs. Kim's antique shop, to talk. And as a first generation, I mean, I wasn't even born here, but I'm counting myself as a first generation because I've been here since I was 4. It's nice to have the white person come to your mom to talk, like the safe white person, the outsider, let's call them. They don't
Right?
have to be. Although so Lorelai going to Mrs. Kim is, as Lane, I would be very grateful.
Really?
And yes, and Lorelai did everything right in that. Mrs. Kim is not going to listen to you. You're the bad mom. You are
Right.
the outside influence.
That's what
You
I
are the
thought it would just
worst.
make it worse. Like, you
But
don't think
because Lorelai knows and respects Mrs. Kim, it didn't. If Lorelai came in and said, "You're too hard on this girl. You nobody acts this way. We're in America now." That's who my mom would reject. That's who Mrs.
I
Kim
see
would
what you're
reject.
saying. So the fact that she came to her with like
Look, you're
a
doing a great job. She said, "You're doing a great job." There's 16 teenagers mess up. That was as far as she took it. And they're like, "No, they don't. Lane knew our rules. And I don't care what your kids
See, if
do."
I feel like if I were Mrs. Kim and Lorelai walked in and said, "You're doing a great job," I would be like, "That's so who asked you to rate
Yes.
my parenting skills? Are you crazy? Who the fuck
Yeah.
asked you to tell me that I'm doing a great job as a mom? I know I'm doing a great job as a from Mrs. Kim's
Yeah, yeah.
perspective."
But there's two things. One is Lorelai understands the difference between her parenting and this woman's parenting, and that difference is not going to change. And Lorelai understands how to talk to another mom, because at
Right.
the end of the day, we're both mothers. And I think Lorelai saying to Mrs. Kim, "I don't want my own kid to be like me, so don't worry." That's not what I instill. I know that you're
Right, right,
scared of
right.
how I
And she
turned
says,
out.
"I don't want Lane to be like you." And she's like, "Well, then we agree. We both
So
don't."
that's, instead of Lorelai's mom, Emily, who comes at you like, "Look at you doing everything wrong. You're always this, you're always that." She came to her, talking to her as a real person, really understanding the culture behind it, understanding the love behind it, and treating it like that. You need that outside person as the first generation. And Lorelai is the closest outsider to the family. She's the closest thing that is semi allowed in, because if you look around, this is the only Korean family.
Yeah.
So you're sort of forced into it. If you're
Yeah.
forced into it, you know that this is your best friend's mother, and now she has found some way to connect as a mom. And I think Lorelai did a fantastic job. I think it's very difficult to talk from an American perspective to an immigrant about the difference in culture and what some Americans would call abuse and what some foreigners would call abuse, vice versa. You're abusing
Right.
your kid with your
I
Pop
always wondered,
Tarts and your boys, and you're allowed to kiss and all of that. And you're abusing your kid by being overbearing, by locking them up. Don't worry, the key's in the other room, things like that. So they came
yeah.
together real nice.